guys, what is going on today? Bojo here, back again for another NHL 17 simulation video, where today, since a bunch of you guys have asked, we are going to be doing a simulation for the ECHL playoffs, or the Kelly Cup. If you guys missed our simulation for the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Calder Cup playoffs, links for those are down below. But today we're going to be traveling to the ECHL and seeing who will become the Kelly Cup champion at the end of our simulation. So I'm not familiar with any of the rosters on these ECHL teams other than the Reading Royals, because I know that that's the roster for the Phantoms, like lower affiliate, and the Flyers lower affiliate. Other than that, I have no idea who is on any of these teams, but we're gonna find out together. So here are the matchups in the West Division, I guess, and I think it's West and East on this side. I'm not really sure how it works, but whatever. The Adirondack Thunder up against the Manchester Monarchs, and the Reading Royals against the Brampton Beast, and then the Florida Everblades against the Orlando Solar Bears, and the Greenville Swamp Rabbits against the South Carolina Stingrays. On the other side, we have the Toledo Walleye against the Kalamazoo Wings, Fort Wayne Comets against the Quad City Mallards, Allen Americans versus the Utah Grizzlies, and then the Colorado Eagles against the Idaho Steelheads. Interesting names there in the ECHL for sure, and we have the bracket all set up. It's a 7-game series through all the games in the ECHL, which is awesome. It's much easier to simulate these rounds. Let's do round number 1, and we'll see who's moving on. Even though a bunch of the games in the Kelly Cup have already started, still, we're going to see what EA Sports thinks. Okay guys, so we're moving on to our final 3 games here of round number 1, as we do have 3 games going to game 7, but we also had Idaho, Fort Wayne, Toledo, and Reading all coming away with sweeps, so 4 total sweeps in the first round, and then Utah winning their series 4-2. So I'm not sure how accurate these are, since, like I said, a couple of these games have already actually happened in the real life, so I'm not exactly sure how accurate most of these are, but still, we'll see who moves on with these last 3 games. Manchester and Adirondack, and that one's going to go to the Adirondack Thunder. Orlando and Florida, and looks like Orlando, and then South Carolina and Greenville, and South Carolina is moving on. Okay. So it looks like we have the Reading Royals against the Adirondack Thunder, Orlando Solar Bears against the South Carolina Stingrays, Fort Wayne Comets against the Toledo Walleye, and the Utah Grizzlies versus the Idaho Steelheads in round number 2. Alright, let's simulate through these bad boys and see what our conference finals are going to be. Okay guys, we have 1 game going to a game 7. South Carolina beat Orlando in 6. Fort Wayne beat Toledo in 6. Utah beat Idaho in 5. And then we have the Reading Royals against the Adirondack Thunder going to a game 7. I will simulate this to see who is moving on to the conference finals here. Let's see how many of these names I'm actually familiar with. First period, 1-0 lead for Adirondack, Bradshaw. Second period, okay, we got Ward, 2-0. Third period, Reading came so close. Wilkins and Pereira, but Krevchenko does get the game-winning goal with 55 seconds left from the point, and the Adirondack Thunder, unfortunately, will beat the Reading Royals, and that will lead to our conference matchups here between the South Carolina Stingrays against the Adirondack Thunder, and then the Utah Grizzlies against the Fort Wayne Comets. Alright, let's see who's moving on to the Kelly Cup Finals. Okay, guys, so both series are going to a Game 7. Let's see who's going to pull out the big W in both series. Adirondack will take it in Game 7, and they will go up against the Utah Grizzlies in the Kelly Cup Finals. So, Utah versus Adirondack. Very interesting matchup. Let's take a look at the stats and see who the top point getters are. Alright, so it looks like that Denis Kravchenko guy is the top point getter so far. 18 points in 21 games for him. It's a 23-year-old with the AHL top 6 potential. It's always fun to see what the potentials next to all these guys are. Peter MacArthur with 15 points. Tim Magali, I actually know who that is. 13 points for him. Michael Pelich, interesting. He's the brother of one of the Pelich brothers. Henry, yep. Low overalls on all these guys, like 68s, 64s, low to mid to high 60s on all these players. But yeah, they are definitely getting some point totals up there, so very interesting. All these names really don't ring a bell to me other than a couple guys here and there. But I want to go to the goaltender stats just to take a look at who's leading the way, and it is Mason McDonald, who used to be, his role is an elite goaltender, really. That is very, very interesting. That's his role. Does he have that, very interesting. But Mason McDonald is leading the way for Adirondack, his 71 overall, 21-year-old goaltender, so that's probably the reason why they are simulating so well, is because the goalie is on their heads right now, and Ryan Faragher is the leading guy for Utah. So those two guys will be battling out the two best goalies, obviously. Anybody else's name I recognize? Holy beard, Batman. That guy, Jake Patterson, who's a Red Wings, or used to be a Red Wings prospect, I think. And Nedeljkovic is right there, so he's in the ECHL. Colin Stevens, he used to play for the LA Kings at one point. Brandon Halverson's right there, so he's a prospect for, I think, the Hurricanes, right? I think? Yes? No, he's for the Rangers. Zachary Fucali's right there, down there as well, 77. Yeah, it's interesting. A bunch of these teams have like some high overall players, but really weren't simulating well were their goalie stats, which is interesting. Fucali had 3 losses, but his goals against average was below 2. So interesting how they did the goalie stats there, the way they simulated. But in any event, we still have our final matchup here to decide who is going to be the champion of the ECHL between the Utah Grizzlies and the Adirondack Thunder. So let us get underway. First game is going to go to Adirondack. Game number 2 is tied up 1-1. Game number 3, Utah takes the 2-1 series lead now. Game number 4, Utah takes the 3-1 series lead. All right, Cup is in the building. Let's see if Utah is going to walk away with it. First period, 1-0 MacArthur. Second period, 1-0 lead. Third period, Utah gets 2, and the Adirondack Thunder tie the game up with 30 seconds left to force it to overtime. With the Cup in the building, Har and Higbee do get those 2 goals to get those 2 goals in the third period to take the lead. But like I said, unfortunately, Adirondack tied it with 30 seconds left to go in the third period. But will this game end in overtime? Will the Cup be granted to the Utah Grizzlies? Will we have a champion? No, we will not. Kravchenko continues his high scoring streak as like the top point getter in this playoff, as that will get pushed to a game 6. Alright, so we're going to simulate game 6 here. First period, a 1-1 tie, Henry and Broussard. Second period, 2-1 lead for the Adirondack Thunder again, Hughes. Third period, Utah with a 3-goal third period, Amistoy, Aubin, and Wendell. And the Utah Grizzlies will walk away as your 2017 ECHL champions of the Kelly Cup are the Utah Grizzlies. Okay, so I took a little bit of research. It honestly was a lot harder to find than you would think it is, but they are the ECHL team for the Anaheim Ducks. Here are the point totals for the Utah Grizzlies. Eric Radford was their leading point getter with 17 points. Broussard with 14, a lot of guys with 14. Sam Wendell, Colin Martin, Michael Pelich, Garrett Har. This Martin guy, Colin Martin, had 11 goals in the playoff run, which is nice to see. Matthew Aubin, Soflets, Kudemi, Puskar, Richard, Amistoy, Higbee, Mike Banwell, Cam Reed, Howe, CJ Elk, Pizzerino, butchering the hell out of these names, And it looks like the goalie that did come up on top was Ryan Faragher, or Faragher? I'll go with Faragher. With a 2.09 goals against average, 16 and 7 with a save percentage of .927 and 3 shutouts for him as a 66 overall goaltender here in the ECHL. Not bad stats, and that is how the bracket will end up with the Utah Grizzlies winning the Kelly Cup here in the ECHL. Here's what the bracket came up to be. Utah did play a lot of games in this playoffs, but still they came out on top and showed their dominance. So, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe as always. Let me know for some other simulation type of videos that you guys would like to see with some random teams, I guess. These are actually pretty fun. I can see why people really do enjoy these type of videos on YouTube. They're exciting to watch, and they're very interesting to build, I guess you could say. So thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, leave a like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll see you guys next time for some more NHL 17 videos. Peace.